Minister in the Presidency responsible for electricity, Dr Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, continues with the series of follow-up visits to Eskom power stations. He's at the Lethabo Power Station in Vereeniging, Gauteng today. Now, the visit forms part of a follow-up to the initial round that Ramokgopa, of course, undertook under his appointment as the Minister of Electricity back in March. This is in order to advance the necessary interventions required to fix Eskom power stations and also bring an end to load shedding. SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi is at the Lethabo Power Station and joins us live now. Katlego, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us at this hour. Perhaps you could just bring us up to speed on what the latest is with regards to what's happening on your end.
A very good afternoon to you, Lizel, and to our viewers at home. Well, the Minister of Electricity, Dr Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, continuing with those visits to 14 of the country's critical power stations. Today, we find him at the Lethabo Power Station here in Vereeniging, where he's just engaging with the management of this power station just behind closed doors. And we know very well that from here, we'll be moving to engage with the workers as well as the unions, the workers' unions here at the Lethabo Power Station. But this is one of the 14 critical power stations. The minister earlier on in the year announcing that they're going to separate the 14 power stations into 3 categories, this being the tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, looking at their lifespan and also the outputs that come out of these particular power stations. So what we know is that the Lethabo Power Station forms part of tier 2 of those power stations that the minister has been really pushing to just ensure that there's intervention and that these power stations are actually optimum in terms of how they function. We see him today continuing with those marathon engagements. What we know about the Lethabo Power Station here, Lizel, is that this power station has about 6 units that are running here, and most of these 6 units are there very critical for the generation capacity that Eskom so needs to ensure that they bring to an end this load shedding. You're coming to us live this afternoon at a time where we're seeing the boilers of this particular power station go on. I'm going to ask my colleague Motsabi to just show you what is happening behind us. This is where you're hearing this noise behind us, where then these boilers are just doing their things in terms of them just coming through for these particular power stations. So this is what the minister will be hearing from those that are here this afternoon to try and find out how the Lethabo Power Station is functioning in terms of helping to mitigate against the energy crisis that we have here at home. And we know very well that the minister will also be moving from other power stations as well. This forms part of the second round of his visits to these particular power stations. And we know very well that there have been a lot of concerns around the lifespan and just how these power stations tend to function here. But we're hearing that Lethabo Power Station is one of those power stations that is not giving Eskom that much of problems compared to other power stations. So the minister will be getting an update here in terms of how things are faring at the Lethabo Power Station, where then he'll move to other power stations as well, trying by all means to mitigate and ensure that there's energy security here at home. Lizel?